I really fucking love snacks.
Hello and welcome to Snack Time. I am your host, Lindsay Adams, and this is the podcast all about snacks, everything you ever wanted, childhood snacks, high emphasis on 90s snacks, only because that is the age range that I am in. And I am so excited today to introduce our guest, Megan Gailey.
I love your musical. Oh my God. I thought that was not that it's not a real song, but then
Right.
I mean, it sounded realer than a Drag Race song.
I mean, it's a garage band, baby. Just a
Wow, very
little creativity, a little free. And then I've said this before, but like I was gonna have Nick make it,
yeah.
but then and he was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I just want a really I'm here kind of vibe." And he's like, "Okay, well that's not helpful." And I'm like, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
And it's like, we just want you to do it and make it better than we'll make it. And that's actually what I really want. Not a vision. I just don't want to do it myself. That's what I want.
Exactly. So then I was like, once he was not willing to do it for me, I was like, okay, fine, I'll fucking.
Well, I'm impressed. I'm thrilled with how it turned out.
Thank you so much. It's a masterpiece.
I'd say so.
But I'm so excited to have you on. If you don't know, Megan is a comedian and a writer and so fucking funny. And you love snacks.
Oh, yeah. I would say it's one of the most important things in my life. I've got like a little drawing of the most important things in my life behind me. And it's the Indianapolis Colts, my mom and dad, and a plate of nachos.
Oh, my God.
So it's the basis of my marriage, sports and snacks. It's really what brings us together. So much so, my husband this is the first podcast I've ever done where CJ was like, I want to do that. People don't actually want to do your podcast, not yours. I'm saying the global yours.
No, totally.
So even when it's like one that's like people listen to and fun, you're still like, oh, putting it in my calendar. And this CJ goes, I want to do it. So this is a coveted seat to be sitting in. Thank you for having me.
Wow. Of course. Yeah. You guys are great snackers. You're also just great. I always know if you have a party or there's like any sort of thing, there will be good food. And there will also, more importantly, be fun food.
Yeah. It's he brings out probably like, I'm from Indiana, so it's like we love a trash food there. Yes. I think of Benihana as fine dining. Yes. So, and CJ really brings out the trash in me. Our wedding goodie bags had Funyuns in them. So yeah. And Muddy Buddies.
Yes. I know he loves Muddy Buddies. When he's a guest, he can talk all about them. But no, I mean, like, it's, I also feel like, well, and for those of you who don't know, I met Megan in Chicago when I had started comedy. She was already killing it. And, Chicago is also a great town for sports and snacks. And sports and snacks are also a fantastic combination and maybe the only reason that I would ever watch sports.
Yes. Oh, I think of the Super Bowl as Thanksgiving. Like I don't love the Thanksgiving spread the way some people do, but like Super Bowl day, I'm like, no, I'm going to gain 10 pounds today.
Yes. I fully agree with that because at Thanksgiving, I truly could give a fuck about the turkey anyway. I'm all about the sides and snack portions and then coming back for more. So I really just want like the buffet vibe.
And the appetizers. Like Thanksgiving, it's like, listen, I'm also not here for the turkey. So I'm going to be full when we sit down for dinner.
Yeah.
Because I've been grazing on whatever has been out. And I say this with so much judgment, having never cooked a Thanksgiving myself.
No, absolutely. And like my family growing up, like our whole deal on both Christmas and Thanksgiving was grazing the entire day,
Yeah.
specifically on cured meats, cheeses, crackers, smoked oysters, weirdly enough, which are actually delicious, and like all of the above, just like everything that like really would just like fuck your stomach up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um and
And
but
then
like
you have a dinner.
yes, exactly. And then you have a dinner and then the pressure's on because it's like, well, I literally just ate a pound of onion dip.
Right.
So
Oh,
I
wow.
guess
Wow.
I know. So I guess I'm supposed to, but Super Bowl is like nobody wants like a dinner. Everyone
No,
just
you
wants
want
snacks.
wings, dips. Like I
Yeah.
love a dip spread.
Oh.
I'm when I lived in Chicago, we had a no utensils party. And so it was like everything was handheld or dip mode.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Hmm.
That's like actually, let me ask you a question. Okay, so this is something that like is debatable, I guess, but I lean one way. Is an appetizer a snack or is it a meal?
I think you can make a meal of appetizers.
Yeah.
I think if you're having just one, that could be a snack. I mean, I told you I was going to be coming on late because I was eating a snack, but
Yeah.
I was eating a full meal.
What were you eating?
I was eating leftover beef and broccoli. It
Ooh.
was really good. And I
Did
went
you?
to I went to eat the wonton soup too, and I went to
Yeah.
heat it up, and the broth was fully like solidified.
Like congealed?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I thought this was liquid." And so I just put the lid on that and said, "Nope, I
Yeah,
guess
I
not."
know. Well, that I know, and that happens with meat. Have you ever like heated
Yeah,
up a rotisserie chicken? And
yeah.
like, I mean, it honestly usually doesn't discourage me, but at the same time, because it melts and then it just like is fat. But I mean, yeah, I don't want that on a soup. I'm not
No.
particularly,
No, no, I think of soup as liquid,
yeah,
cold or hot.
yeah. No, 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 no. It needs to be. I like scarfed a bunch of. I tried making garlic noodles last night.
Mm,
And I just scarfed over the garbage can
mm,
earlier today after a
mm.
run because I was like, I'm not really hungry. And then I would just eat
Yeah.
out of a giant container.
Well, and it's hot out, so you need to get something.
I know. Well, it's funny too because it's hot out. So you would think that I would just like really want like fruit and bird food. And
No,
I
no.
just am ready. I'm ready to go in.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, I would say like what are your family's go-to snacks on holidays? Because are you the same? You guys just graze, or what are your family's fave snacks?
Yeah, we typically have like a big Christmas Eve party, and
Yeah.
my mom has this caterer named Reggie, and Reggie in Indianapolis is a big name because of Reggie Miller and Reggie Wayne and my mom's
Right.
caterer, all all incredible black men too.
Right.
And these sandwiches we call them Reggie sandwiches, and they're tiny.
Yeah.
They're on just little rolls, and he does the most incredible chicken salad,
Ooh.
and then ham, roast beef, turkey. I think maybe there's pastrami. And so my mom gets like 250 of those.
Yeah.
And we end up having probably 50 to 75 left over.
Oh.
And some of my family members will take meat off of one sandwich and put it onto another one. That's a double meat Reggie
Mm.
sandwich. And he makes his own like homemade horseradish. But we love a crudité. We do like a big breakfast,
Oh my God,
and
I love.
my mom makes a really delicious cranberry bread. Like we are a family of addicts, and
Yeah.
so some of our addicts have entered into sobriety,
Yeah.
and so we don't drink around each other, and so we are eating around. That's like what we have, and is so bonding, and we don't have to get rid of it. But like I was home for 4th of July, and there just was so much food. Like
Oh my
my mom will
God.
get a Costco taco dip, and we'll just sit around that for hours.
Oh, and Costco is like
Yeah.
a dream for
Yeah.
that kind of shit. I always wish that I had enough people at a party to get Costco. Although I like swear I'm going to get, I keep threatening to get a big Costco bag of Doritos, but I'm just like,
Mm.
it literally wouldn't fit in my
Home.
pantry, but
Mhm.
I just, for the sake of it, I fucking love big food too.
Yeah.
I love like comically big portions.
Like a giant on the border tortilla chip bag.
Yes,
My,
exactly.
my parents have no one. It's just the two of them at home, and my mom goes to Costco weekly. I don't know what
Ah,
she is, and this woman is, 110 pounds soaking wet. So
yeah.
I'm like, she is maybe single-handedly keeping Skinny Pop afloat. Like if you go in her
Oh my
car, she has
God.
75 bags of Skinny Pop in there.
Nick's
Hmm.
mom is a big Costco Skinny Pop fan too, and my mom has a Costco membership also, and she lives alone, and I'm like, I don't know what are you buying?
Shrimp
Like,
cocktail, just
yes,
massive. And my mom's like, this is the best shrimp cocktail.
I know, that's the funny thing. It's like there are some things from Costco where I'm just like, fantastic. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
like everything, but
Mhm.
there's other things where it's like, I always am very tempted by their giant pastry
Yes.
containers.
Yeah.
And I know some of them, like, I know the
Mhm.
croissants are soggy, so I'm not gonna fuck with that.
But their cakes and pies are good, and their
Their
bread
cakes
is
and
their
pies are
bread is
good.
really good, and like it smells so good when you're in
Oh,
that area that you're not
yeah,
really able to listen to the part of you saying, "I know these croissants are soggy." You're
I
just like, "I'm
know.
smelling yeast and sugar and butter, and I'm just gonna buy it."
I know, I know, I know, I know. And then all the like the snack packs of everything. It's like at that point I'm like, I wish I had 45 kids so that
Yeah.
I could be like, oh no. But I also really I part of why I want a bigger apartment is to have parties because I want those leftover snacks.
Mhm.
I want like a
Mhm.
good reason to have leftover snacks. And I love seeing the visual of a snack table
Mm. Mhm.
that
Mhm.
like makes me, and it's also as a sober person, I'm like, yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah.
But it's like there's something so joyous and exciting about that. And I just growing up, the family events we had were, I just remember my bat mitzvah. We had like a party at our house after the bat mitzvah, and somebody had like a Costco membership, or I think we went to Wegmans, which is
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I know Wegmans.
yeah,
I like to know all of the chain grocery stores,
me
because
too.
I love a grocery store. Like
Same.
it's really where when my grandmother lived with us, and had Alzheimer's, her and I would go every single day, and we
Yeah.
would go down every aisle. You could not skip an aisle. Like we would be in the cat food aisle, and I'm like, Nani, we don't have a cat. We're not going to have a cat tomorrow. But it was like so soothing for her to be like, no,
Yeah.
this is where this is, and this is where this is. I also, and this is a casualty of COVID, I love a grocery store salad bar.
Yeah.
Like, go fucking nuts for it. And
Yep.
I don't think they're going to come back. Maybe they will some places. All of that's to say, I know a Wegmans. My parents are from upstate New York, and they have a Tops too. But I think
Yeah.
Wegmans is definitely the premier of the grocery stores.
Yes, Wegmans is like what we rave about, and I'm
Yeah.
exactly the same way. Anywhere I go to the grocery store. I
Hmm.
just like feel like I have to because they do have like regional food sometimes,
Oh,
which makes me
yeah.
excited. Even in other countries, all I want to do is go to a grocery store and see what they have,
Hmm.
just because of like the slight differences or whatever. I'm all about that. And I live across the street from a Ralph's, so I go every
Mm.
day.
Yeah.
And I live in the vicinity of like a Ralph's, a Trader Joe's, a Sprouts, and a Whole Foods.
Oh, wow, you've got all the high end. You're not even
I
messing with a
know.
I go to a Vons, and then a Trader Joe's. We have a Sprouts as well, but I really do, and we have a Super 8, which I do like. They have great produce.
Oh.
But I really do like my Vons. But I used to live by a Ralph's and I loved it.
Well, I like Vons over Ralph's honestly because of like the decor inside, which sounds psychotic, but they tend to go for darker colors, which makes me think that I'm in a like nicer grocery store for some reason. But do they have Plum Market in Indiana?
No.
Okay, in Detroit and Michigan, like first of all, like Nick's mom in like in like Bloomfield Hills in Michigan, they have like a bajillion grocery stores like all in a line. And Plum Market, I know, and Plum Market is one of them. And it reminds me of Bristol Farms out
Oh,
here, which
mm-hmm.
also love a Bristol Farms.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I will say everything there is completely unnecessary for the most
Right. But
part.
that's okay.
Yeah.
When you're going there, it's like, what's the really fancy? There's also a really fancy grocery store out here that
Dozens.
that I like never really go to because we just
No.
don't, they don't have one in Highland Park. But when I go there, I'm like, these strawberries do look good.
Yeah.
Like this is good shit. In Indiana, we had a store called Marsh. That was our local grocery
Oh.
store. It is since they were everywhere. There were
Yeah.
hundreds of them, and we lived close to Don Marsh. That was the man who owned them all, and he had a really ugly house on the reservoir we grew up on. But it was like it kind of actually his house. They used
Yeah.
the same brick that they used on the grocery stores. Like it was the
Oh.
same red brick, and they have closed. And I cried when my mom told me. I truly shed a tear because now it's only Kroger's. And it's like,
Ooh.
that's not what I want. I
Yeah.
don't want to live in a world where that's my only option. And I don't have to, but I'm sad for my parents. They go to Fresh Time. I don't know if that's like
Oh, no. I'm
a
not
chain.
familiar.
Fresh. Yeah, they go to Fresh Time. I think it's Thyme.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I get it. Because,
And it's kind of like, it's a Sprouts. It's got Sprouts
okay.
vibes. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. In Jersey, we've got A&P, ShopRite, and King's are like the main chain ones. And I think A&P went bankrupt. When we used to have, like, when I was like young, we had Lenko, which was a different one. And they had clothes in there, I remember. It was
Oh,
like kind
wow.
of like an OG Walmart.
Like a Meyer.
Yeah, exactly. And then that went out of business. But I will say, like, ShopRite kind of, I want to say slaps because I wish I was 19, but
Mhm.
but it's pretty good. And I was just in Jersey. So I like made my mom go to Wegmans with me. We went to the grocery
And is that
store.
like a little bit of a further drive?
Yeah, totally. I mean, where I grew up in Jersey and like where my mom lives, it's like there's certain things in like a 15-minute vicinity or 10 minutes, but it's rural enough that like
Mm.
some of them, like there's no Whole Foods around her. So we'd have to drive like 35 minutes to get to a Whole Foods.
Wow. Wow.
So it's like a little bit of a hike. And
I don't know
Wegmans
why I'm
is like,
saying wow like that. I think that's probably how most of America is. But
yeah, I know, I know.
I live close to two. My parents, even in Indianapolis, they live 4 minutes from a Whole Foods, but they don't
Yeah.
go to it. That's not.
No,
Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm surprised she doesn't even live by a Trader Joe's. It's so weird. Like the town really like insists on being like small and quaint and
Mm.
like protecting their
That's
farmland. And that's great.
that's sweet. I mean, do they have like a general store?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's farm stands everywhere.
Well, that's I guess
Yeah.
what we're supposed to be doing. So that
We
is good.
are. That is what
That's
we're
good.
supposed to be doing, and it's really it's great. It's very cool and fun, but I'm like, "Mommy, gotta get a Whole Foods."
Yeah, we're like, we need a floral department and
Yeah.
where there's a spot where you can buy cookies. And if
Yeah.
that's not under the same roof, then that's not a place I want to visit.
No, 100%. They have a basil bandwagon, which is like their health food store too, and my mom loves it. Isn't that the
It's a
most
really funny name.
insane name?
Yeah, because like in sports, bandwagon is like you got on the train late,
Right,
like
right.
it's like, oh, you loved the 90s Bulls, but not until like 1998. So it's like we've been with Basil since the ground floor.
Exactly, exactly, and it's like, "Oh god, don't wanna fall off the basil bandwagon." It's so stupid. No, it's interesting. I mean, I will say I did see salad bars open,
Wow,
by the
okay.
way, just so
I
you
mean,
know.
that's good and bad.
Yeah, because I was really, really upset about the lack of buffets. And I've also been on the hunt for like a quality buffet. Like I want one. I mean, part of why I love like the chain like Brazilian steakhouses is because like their buffets are on another level.
Yeah.
But I want like a dessert buffet. And I know they have them in Vegas somewhere,
Yes,
or I
they
don't
do.
know if they
Everywhere in Vegas, and they're back. They took
Are they?
They took 1 month off. Oh yeah. And I know that because my mother-in-law lives in Vegas, and so we see the ads that are like back open, and it's the high-end buffets. You know,
That's what I want.
Buffets that are like $100 all the way down to the low-end buffets. They're back.
Oh my God. See, I like that. I went to Boca Raton to visit my aunt, and there's like, it's just called a general Asian buffet, but it's actually really fucking good. It's really good. They have great sushi. They also have great Chinese food. It's shocking.
I love a buffet. It's really it is like I'm happy they're back, but also I'm gonna need to take a beat with them.
Absolutely. Well, how do you feel about bulk bins?
What's a bulk bin?
So bulk bins are like, you know, at either Whole Foods or Sprouts where you take the shovel and you put
right.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do those as a kid and was never allowed. And so it's just not been a part of my my path, my journey. Yeah. Even like Candiopolis or whatever, like I see them. I think I've gotten it like once at an airport, but we were at Sprouts last weekend and passed those. And then at the end of it, they had gummy worms already packaged.
Right.
And like in a little tub, like you can buy these. And I was drawn to that. Like, I don't know. They obviously look cool, but I don't know if I want to scoop my own food.
Yeah. I mean, I respect that. I wasn't allowed either when I was a kid to have them. And I was devastated because it's all I wanted. And then pre-pandemic, when we started going to Ralph's, I just became that person who would scoop one or two and then eat them in the store.
Oh, okay. Yes. No, I'm fully on board with that. Yeah.
I'm not. And like, I always, when I was young, my mom would just like look at the people who like tasted the produce and shit and would walk around eating. And she was like, ugh, no. And then I just like shoved gummy worms in my mouth as we walked around.
The Whole Foods in Chicago that was on like North End, it was right by my gym. I would go in there and graze the hot bar and pay for nothing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Chicago also, and I feel like I mentioned this too, Treasure Island in Chicago.
Yes, my parents used to live right by that Treasure Island.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Yeah. The one on Broadway in Lakeview. I lived super close to it.
I cried in that one. I had like a breakdown. Yeah, I had a breakdown about a man. I'm guessing if you're thinking Chicago, you know which man I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
Just because you would like the parking garage. There was like a parking lot and you would come in on the second floor.
Yeah.
And I just cried down the escalator all through that Treasure Island. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I would go in and I would they always had pimento dip out. They had pimento dip out and they had cinnamon bread.
Oof, yeah.
And so I would and they had like piles of it because it was also like an old people store. And so I would just go and fucking munch. And it was so good. And my friend and I would like go and basically eat lunch and pay for nothing. And it was very obvious that I was like shoving it in my face desperately, but it was, and now free samples are no more.
No. But I feel like you and I got the most of what we could. I was at a Sam's Club as a kid. I went up, this was maybe my third time at the same sample like stop, and the woman, and I was a child, she said to me, the samples are for people that haven't tried them yet. And I got turned away. She turned away, child. But like, I go into a Sam's or a Costco. I mean, my parents go to Costco after the gym, pre-pandemic to eat. 2 at once. They're like, we're going to Costco to get samples and eat, and then maybe get like a $1 hot dog on the way out.
Right. No, and the funny thing is like, I'm sure they didn't pay that woman enough to yell at a kid.
A kid, just like, let me, and I think it was like a pimento cheese situation where it's like, one isn't enough, like, no. I know this is a trying, but I'm here trying to get as much cheese as possible.
Right. I love a creamy cheese too. I love like a pub cheese.
Yeah.
I'm a big
the ones
pub cheese
person. we didn't get these growing up, but this was like, you would see them at every party in Indiana, the like round, and then it was like cover. I love that shit. Oh my God.
Oh, we got that every Thanksgiving, and it was just like, it's so satisfying.
Mm-hmm. It's so good with a club cracker.
You got to have a club cracker. Nick he likes the water crackers, which taste like cardboard to me. It's like the thinner one.
Yeah, that are like fancier looking.
Yeah.
I like a club for those.
I like a club. I mean, it's a Ritz cracker. It's like I like a Ritz club, anything. That's ideal cheese pairing for me at like a party. No, I fully agree with you. And you said originally, and we'll get to your childhood snack, but you said originally, which we've done before with Gabby Lamb, the crackers with the red stick and the cheese-ish item. That was
when I was like, has someone done that? And you said yes. It's like, of course. It's a classic.
It's iconic. Yeah. No, it's iconic.
Champagne. It's champagne for kids, you know.
It is.
It's so, and everybody had their own way to eat it, and like some would eat the cheese immediately. I would try and make the cheese last and have the last cracker be the one with the most cheese. Yeah. And just that little red stick was probably the first thing I remember using to just like scrape, because I'm a I'm a plate cleaner, like rubbing my finger on it, licking it. I will lick my husband's plate clean. I'll lick CJ's plate clean.
One of the things Nick does that drives me absolutely nuts when he eats is he always leaves like a tiny corner of something on the plate. And I have no idea why. And I don't think he even knows why. But if he gets like a sandwich, for example, there's always like one bite left. And then I know, it's so insane. It's honestly the craziest thing in the world. And so I will just like sit by his plate and wait for that bite. And then I'm like, okay, and we're good.
Yeah.
But
that's nice for you, but psychologically something's going on with him there.
No, absolutely. And I'm gross. If a dip is good, I will absolutely eat it with my finger. I don't care. I'm like, and he's like, you have to leave the room. That is so gross. And I'm like, look, if it's a good aioli, it's a good aioli. It's not my fault I'm out of fries.
I think a lot of things can be dip too. I dip things in cottage cheese. I love a pretzel dipped in a cottage cheese, and CJ's horrified by that. And I'm like,
no, it's very good.
Yeah.
I've used ice cream as a dip for Doritos.
Oh my God.
I know. And I know it sounds weird, but it's actually.
Yeah. I was like a French fry frosty girl. So it's the same sort of sweet and salty.
I forgot who I was talking to recently who was like, "Ooh, I'd never tried that. It's disgusting." I'm like, if you tried it, it wouldn't be disgusting.
Good. Yeah, Wendy's is very underrated, I think.
Oh,
we don't really have a lot of them out here.
No, but we do have one right across the street from us.
Wow. Yeah. That would be amazing. I mean, you guys are close to the one and only Arby's too, and I ride pretty hard for Arby's.
You and Nick have very similar tastes. Nick will have me stop at Wendy's in the middle of the night if we're riding home from somewhere, and he will get an Arby's. Like, he has to be in a specific Arby's mood. But he like, we'll drive by and I'll be like, oh, that's my Arby's.
It's so good. And I think they do everything well. They have great appetizers.
Yeah.
And their sandwiches are like, their market fresh sandwiches are good. Their curly fries are amazing. A beef and cheddar. Ooh,
I don't know. I didn't grow up with, like, we weren't allowed to eat fast food growing up, really. I would have McDonald's sometimes.
And then look what happened to you. You know, this is like when people are like, I grew up in the church and now I'm a sex worker. It's like, if they had just let you pray less.
Yes,
then
exactly.
not
It
that
was
being a
like
sex worker is bad, but like people go to the extreme when they
yeah,
are when they can't have anything.
when
Yeah,
they're deprived.
we didn't have like bad food in our house.
Yeah.
And I would go to people's, this is where my binging started. I would go to
Yeah.
people's houses and fucking go to
Same.
town. And then, in second grade was like, well,
No, I was
time to
exactly the
diet.
same way. I remember overhearing my friends' parents once. Like, first of all, my friends' parents' faces would be horrified. Like, I think they were legitimately worried. If I wasn't chubby, they would be worried that my parents weren't feeding me
Yeah.
the way that I ate Lucky Charms in the morning at sleepovers. They were just like, what? And I was always alone in the kitchen with the Dominoes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was like that was fully related. And the best houses were where the kids' parents had like the giant pantries of just like
Yeah.
every drawer of everything. So it was like we didn't have anything that was like considered bad either.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all like the organic versions, which is like, you know what? It's privilege 100%. But it was like, I want Oreos. I
I
don't
want to
want like,
squeeze it.
yeah, I don't want like Newman's Own like O's or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was, and so I had to like take other people's snacks.
Snacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never a trade because they never wanted mine. But I remember if someone gave me a fruit roll up, there were people who got bored of their fruit roll ups.
I know. I
And
switched lunch with a friend in first grade, Katie O'Brien, and my lunch sucked and her lunch was so amazing. And I remember thinking, I'm going to get in trouble. Like I've conned this woman into giving me, because she would get like the round red cheese before that was a thing. She was getting, and I just was not getting good lunch. And I felt, but she was intrigued and excited to get my lunch just because it was something different, even though it did suck.
What was your lunch typically?
I think it was like a sandwich, chips, and a piece of fruit.
Got it.
Yeah.
We were allowed to have Sun Chips.
Yeah, we would always get those big Sam's Club or Costco like chip boxes that had, and so you're going to eat the Cheetos into the Doritos first, but then it's like, as a first grader, you don't want just plain Fritos. You want like a walking taco was big in Indiana. And so like a plain Frito, you're like, this is missing 4 ingredients now.
Yeah. For some reason at New Jersey, it doesn't do Mexican food well, or like anything. Like growing up, there were so few places that,
not even Tex-Mex.
I mean, some Tex-Mex, but really like, so like walking taco, I had like never, I was so unfamiliar with. Granted, I grew up in like a rural area, so maybe it was just like there were not like street vendors.
We would have them at concession stands. And so like my brothers played baseball, I played softball, and you would get like a ticket after the game. And so you could get like a rope of, something. But I feel like if you hit a home run or like you were the best one, everybody was walking away with a walking taco. And that's shit. Oh my God. Ooh, so good.
Yeah. When you said rope, I thought Nerds rope, and wow.
It was like the licorice rope that was super long, a fun dip, big league chew.
I love all of those candies. Yeah. Love. And so in terms of chips, I wasn't allowed to have like Doritos or anything like that. And so, but then you mentioned that the snack that you chose was the Wow potato chips, which I fucking love that you chose that. So elaborate please on that for me.
So we were allowed to have chips. We're a huge chip on sandwich family. Like we would make lunches to go down to the neighborhood pool, and I always had Doritos on every single ham sandwich, cheese sandwich, turkey, like just that. It's amazing. So good. I still do it with like my Jersey Mike's. I love it.
Right.
And so as I mentioned, I would go to people's houses and binge. And so probably like second or third grade, I that's when I started to become aware of my weight.
Right.
And it seems like it was right around the time Wow chips came out, and they were like a third of the calories. It was the 100-calorie pack before the 100-calorie pack.
Absolutely.
And so everyone was thrilled, children up to adults. And then they came out and everybody got diarrhea from them, like some form of low-level food poisoning, because there was a product in it, some sort of, I think it was a corn.
It was called Olestra.
Yes, Olestra, which there was an urban legend that a factory in my college town made Olestra. So
oh my God.
I don't know if it's true or not. And so Olestra made everybody sick, but it did not make me sick. And so I was like, no, I'll carry the torch for Wow Chips. Just keep them out for me and my chunky little 8 ass. And they were like a part of my life and then gone before I even knew it.
Fuck. Did you have the potato ones or did you try every kind?
I loved the Dorito nacho cheese Wow Chips.
Ugh, I bet those were
they tasted exactly the same. They tasted exactly the same.
Honestly, it's a tragedy. And like, obviously that era, toxic diet culture, just like literally like the idea of a third grader being like, I'm fat, which I relate to, and being like, I'm fat and have to diet is absolutely bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
But I was on the same page. And so when it came out, I didn't have like enough. I mean, we were so young. It was like I didn't have enough autonomy over what I got at the grocery store to have it. And my mom was like a hard no on it.
Yeah.
And I was furious. Like I was like, this is going to be the answer. And so this is going to be the solution to all my problems.
Yeah. And it
was.
If
you don't, I have never to this day, and none of my friends, like everybody's like moms, like didn't care because all their kids were like skinny. And so nobody was like, let me get Wow potato chips. But like, I have never had one and I've always wanted to try one. And I would have taken the diarrhea in a second.
That's a dieting tactic.
Exactly. I was going to say that actually makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like people use laxatives. What do you think their experience is?
Yeah, it was the Wow chip was something my entire family was excited about. I remember hearing our family friend Beeb had Wow chips, and he lived in a different part of the state than us, hours away from us. They tried Wow chips before my family got Wow chips, and he got sick. Yeah. And that deterred my family not at all. We said, we got to go out and get these chips. We went and got them. And I can't remember if anyone else. I also, part of it too was like, as a kid, I just had diarrhea all the time because my favorite food was like when we would go out to eat, I would get fettuccine Alfredo. I'm like, yeah, fettuccine Alfredo. And then I would just have diarrhea. And so it's like, oh, okay, I guess other people don't want diarrhea, but it's just really not that big of a deal. You guys not having fettuccine Alfredo at your grandparents' country club? I don't know.
Right. And when I was a kid, I was like constantly constipated from anxiety. I was literally like anal retentive. And like, so I was like, yeah, absolutely here for it. I'm sure it will literally not affect me in the slightest. And I was like, Mom, this is the solution. I also love new products.
Yes.
Like I loved when anything new came out. Like, do you remember the green ketchup?
Yeah. Yes.
And I was not allowed to have that. I mean, they fucked hard with our generation of just like, they were like, what's like the most disgusting thing that your parents won't let you have? Let's put it on the market so that you have full meltdowns if you can't get it.
It got to the point at my elementary school when they would have those test tubes of sugar. Remember those? And so kids were just eating test tubes of sugar. And then they had the baby bottles with the like slime in them.
Pop.
Yes. These were baby bottles with slime in them. And they got to a point where they were like, kids cannot bring these to lunch because they were going back to class and being absolutely fucking insane. And it's like, they were eating sugar for lunch. But
absolutely. No. And I remember, I mean, parents were mad that like pixie sticks were even allowed.
And this was like, we're taking pixie stick to the next level.
Do you remember the giant pixie sticks that were in like a massive straw?
Yeah, they were fat.
Yeah, they were.
You could get those at a concession like a baseball concession stand too.
Yes. The idea of that though, now I'm like, that's hilarious. Like a kid's mouth, like I wouldn't even drink something that I like with a straw that big.
No, but we were fiends for it. I mean, they only got us to read books by giving us pizza. Like that's like, and I grew up going to Pizza Hut buffets, KFC buffets. Like,
I'm so jealous.
These are at the Kroger by us. There was a KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut.
Shit.
And it's like, you think I'm gonna be normal? No.
And I was fully deprived of that and was psychotic as a result. Like anytime my friends didn't want to eat like macaroni and cheese on top of pizza for dinner, I was like, fuck you. Also, I wanted those microwave kids dinners.
Yeah, I got those
badly.
I got those.
I wanted those so badly.
We would get to eat those when we had a babysitter.
And in retrospect, it's like, I mean, obviously there's no nutritional value, so fine, but it's like a lazy parent's dream too. Yeah. Like if you were to just give that to your kid regularly, they would never complain about eating.
No, they were delicious. I can like still see the box in my mind for the Mexican one that I was like obsessed with.
The penguin one was the one that I always was like, can I get this? And she was like, no. And I was like, ah! But I was such a, oh my God. Well, and that generation, that's like around when Boca Burgers came out. I mean, early 2000s, which was kind of when, late 90s, early 2000s, maybe late 90s was when diet culture got wild. And that was like, my dad went on Atkins.
Yeah.
My dad
Atkins
went on Atkins.
Broke everybody.
Well, but at the same time, they were having this, like the two ends of the spectrum were like Atkins and then fat is bad. So everything was fat free.
Which we now know is not great.
Right. Exactly. And so those are the opposite ends of the spectrum. And then they were also introducing vegetarian stuff at that time.
Not in Indiana. I don't really. And I had like friends that would like bring sushi makers to high school. I definitely had friends that were like outside of the norm eating. And I don't even think I had any friends that were vegetarian.
Shit. Well, my sister became a vegetarian, so we had to adjust. And my mom was always into milk alternatives because she thought I was lactose intolerant.
Oh my God. We were drinking 1% milk with dinner until high school.
Oh my God. No, we drank skim and I had goat milk and soy milk and I know it's not right.
No. That's what we know. People, when I was a camp counselor at an all girls Jewish summer camp that did have to ban Toll House cookie sandwiches, like the ice cream ones.
Why?
Because parents found out like kids would like, write letters or see their parents on Parents' Day or whatever and be like, yeah, my Toll House cookie sandwich is the best thing. And then the parent would go look it up and they're like, oh, it has 39 grams of fat. I don't want my 7-year-old eating that every day. Yeah. And so they banned them and the kids were like, like animals. But my friend Rachel and I, we were both from central Indiana and like, Catholic Christian. She was raised Christian. I was raised Catholic, and I wasn't drinking milk with dinner at the time. I had gone past that, but she was still drinking milk with dinner. And these young Jewish girls, they fucking ripped her to shreds. They were like, what is wrong with you? And Rachel, like at the table over, was like, Megan, we do this, right? And I'm like, we do this. This is what we do.
That's so, oh my God, the kosher girls just like losing their
and they'd be like, mind. We're not even kosher. This is just disgusting.
Yeah. Which is like pretty much coming from kosher. We never drank milk. I mean, my mom was more Jewish than I was. So like, she was like a hard no, but we never drank milk with dinner. It was always water and it was always disgusting.
Everybody in Indiana was having milk with dinner. Like you're having a meatloaf and a potato and then a tall glass of whole milk.
Yeah, you know what's funny? When Sam Wiles was on the podcast, he drank a full glass of milk. And I was like, you're a literal insane
Yeah,
person.
that's the Midwest.
Yeah, because he's from Iowa, and he was like, no, this is what we do. We drink glasses of milk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. I mean,
and I don't know if it's just like farm culture that we're like, we got to support our own. Like,
no, I mean, and that's why I'm like, where I grew up in New Jersey, I'm surprised more kids didn't drink milk. Some of them would get chocolate milk, like the Nesquik at dinner. Oh, yeah. And that I was super fucking jealous of.
Yeah, strawberry milk. I remember when the strawberry, like Hershey came out. Yeah. I had a friend who had a special, because like, you know, you would put the chocolate in and a spoon can only do so much. Right. They got a special like stirrer that was made just for chocolate milk that you would put at the bottom that would get all of the chocolate syrup dispersed perfectly.
Fuck.
And I would go to their house and eat 3 Hot Pockets.
Oh, my Hot Pockets were great. Yeah. For some reason, I was allowed to have Hot Pockets.
Maybe because it seems like it's a full meal, but
it's so inconsistent. But we were allowed to have Hot Pockets, and that was like my.
What was your go-to flavor?
Broccoli, cheese, chicken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that better than the pizza.
I did too. The pizza, I was like, there's too much sauce.
I'd rather have pizza.
Stuff. I loved the gooey cheese like melting out of it. So that was like
eat that right now.
I know exactly what it tastes like.
And sometimes it would be like a stray little tiny carrot in there.
Yes.
And you were like, okay.
And also the outside pastry or whatever it was had a very specific taste.
Yes. Oof. Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because we put it in that like radioactive pocket, like for the microwave or what, but it was like, it had like a very specific
As we're talking about this, I'm realizing that I spend a lot of time in kitchens, like with the parents, because like they don't want to let a child eat by themselves. So I'm like thinking of my friend Kristen's house, and I would just be making Hot Pockets one after each other, and everyone else was playing outside.
Yeah,
and her mom didn't want me to choke, so I'm just sitting in there while she's watching me eat all of their groceries.
I got shamed so hard by all the moms. I mean, I was always in the kitchen alone with the moms too. And they were always like, don't you want to like,
aren't you full?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh, and that was when I started to like also hide that I was eating. And I would like steal my friends' snack packs of stuff. So I would like go in like and get like their Ritz Bits sandwiches with cheese.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Those are good.
And I would just like, my mom would find them and be like, did you take this? And I'm like, yeah, I feel like you need to see.
Oh, they gave it to me to take.
Yeah, exactly. They let me load my pockets up with fruit roll-ups. Not a thing. I did get fruit roll-ups recently though, and they have Starburst flavors.
Wow.
It was not good. But
it wasn't?
No.
I like a fruit by the foot better, I think.
Yeah. Fruit by the foot's good. Oh, no, you know what? That's what it was. It was fruit by the foot. It wasn't fruit roll-up. It was fruit by the foot, and it was not great.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, well, I think now I'm like, we know it's candy, so why don't I just get, like, fruit strips?
Right, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, it's, like, similar to Twizzlers Pull and Peel.
I love Twizzlers Pull and Peel.
Same. And I
don't like Twizzlers. I only like Pull and Peel. No, I don't like licorice.
Oh, I'm like such a massive licorice fan. For Christmas one year, Nick just got me like a bajillion different flavors of licorice. And it was my favorite.
You like black licorice too?
I do.
It horrifies me. Yeah.
I know. You know, I never used to like it. My mom likes it. And so like, I don't know if it's like
hereditary.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm just going to say it is, even though I'm not, I feel like that can't be right, but sure. I don't like black licorice taste in like a lot of things, but for some reason, black licorice I get down with. Also because it feels healthy. I know it's not, but like.
Yeah. Black food, healthy food.
Well, it's also just like, if it's kind of gross, I assume it's healthy.
Okay.
So it's like that mentality. I don't know. But I have 2 rounds of 2 truths and a lie themed
Okay.
from Wow Chips / Olestra that I'm going to have you play.
Okay, great.
And you're going to have to figure out what the lie is. I will list the 3 facts-ish out, and then we'll do that. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here's the first round. 1. Olestra was originally created as a medication to lower cholesterol. 2. Olestra was initially tested on infants. 3. Olestra was still found in Lay's chips as late as 2013.
I'm going to guess the lie is infants.
Okay, yeah, that is the lie. It's a slight lie, though, because initially they were testing Olestra. Like, that was part of how they discovered Olestra, was just like coming up with different compounds that they were like using on infants and kind of seeing how they absorbed fat. So it wasn't like a clinical test, but it's like, yeah, they definitely gave babies Olestra at one point in one form.
And you do not want babies shitting more. They shit so much they have to change their clothes when they shit.
Yeah, I mean, they already like somehow projectile shit.
Yeah.
The idea that you would give that, but that was like part of the origins. But it was originally supposed to be like a cholesterol lower.
Yes.
There seemed to be a lot of positive points to Olestra.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It had no different taste. It lowered cholesterol potentially.
Makes you poop. Makes you poop.
Yeah. It's
and
like
there's at least now it's like re-release them and say this is what happens if you eat them.
Right. Well, there was so much drama around the like putting a warning on the label too. Like it was just like a whole back and forth type thing of like the verbiage and like, which like I got it. Like they, but there was like a whole thing around it. But I'm mad that I didn't know that they had Lay's light chips, which I guess were a version, and they had Olestra in them. Like, and those are the ones that were in market 2013. I had fully given up.
Wow.
But I guess
Lay's light?
Yeah, I guess the smaller amount of Olestra made it more palatable.
Okay. Yeah, because I think the baked Cheetos are amazing. I sometimes prefer those. I think the Cape Cod that are like a third of the fat, I actually like better than the full fat Cape Cod. So there are diet chips that I ride hard for. And honestly, maybe Wow is my origin story.
Maybe. What do you think about fat-free or baked potato chips?
Baked I'm fine with. Fat free, I feel like don't usually. Then I'm like, I'll eat a sun chip.
Yeah.
That's my black licorice. I'm like, that's healthy. Garden salsa.
That's so healthy. I hate baked potato chips because
I hate the baked Lays. I think they taste funny.
They taste like trash. Also, do we know if, and I have like had time to look this up and I feel like I've asked this before, are Pringles fried or baked?
I don't know, but I do love
baked potato chips.
I love Pringles.
Do you?
I love Pringles. Yeah.
What's your favorite flavor? Maybe I need to give them another chance.
That was a staple in my house growing up. Pringles. And I don't know if my mom didn't know they were bad for you, but Pringles and combos, we've talked about combos off air. I fucking love a combo and have been eating combos to this day. When I go on a road trip, I'm getting a combo.
Same. Because also rest stops have the best selection.
Yes, we're getting pretzel. I prefer all the pretzel outside.
Okay.
The pretzel and pizza, the pretzel. There's like a buffalo wing one. Like
there's a buffalo wing.
Combos have kept going, and if you're not with them, then we've left you. Yeah. But you can go into some gas stations and be like, wow, they've been working and they've been innovating, and I recognize you for doing that. Yeah. And I don't know if they're a Nabisco, because I know we're mad at Nabisco right now. But I know.
Right. I mean, if they fucked combos for me, combos like really, like I'm shocked that more people don't know what they are. because I feel like that's a miss on their part.
Mhm.
When I did community theater growing up, we had a snack box, and like that was like one of the few scenarios where my mom was too busy to monitor what I was eating.
Mhm.
So she would just be like, go get a granola bar. And I would be
Mhm.
like, suck my dick, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
and they had combos. And
Oh,
that was,
yeah.
that was like the best thing ever. And they're just the perfect texture. I'll do the pretzel cheese, but there's something luxurious to me about the cracker cheese, like the cracker outside.
Well, you've brought up the Ritz sandwich,
Yes.
and it's like if you like those, you're gonna love combos because I think combos just taste. Sometimes that cheese in the Ritz is like really too powdery, but the
Yeah.
combo cheese, you're like, this might be cheese,
Yeah.
and that's refreshing from a snack.
Have you had the sweet combos?
Yes.
Are they good?
Yes, they are. I just when I'm going for a combo, I want like something salty.
Yeah. I mean, I would put a bowl of the sweet ones, which I haven't tried and I've
Mm,
wanted to try, next to the salty ones. And I feel
mhm,
like that would make me feel complete.
mhm,
But
mhm.
I have not tried the sweet ones. I forgot, a gig in Fresno, and now at this point it's like a couple of years ago. And I can't I think it's like Kettleman that has Kettleman City or something. There's some rest stop up there that has like the most gorgeous selection
Mm,
of
mm.
combos specifically
Wow.
that I just like I couldn't decide. I think they have honey mustard ones now.
Yeah, because people love those Schneider's pieces. And
Yes.
it's like, if you like those, go to combo. Like, I love the
Yeah.
Snyder's pieces too, but it's like, yes, when you were saying that people were not aware of combos, I saw them yesterday at the Aspen airport. So if they're in
Yeah.
Aspen, they're places. You just
No,
got to open your eyes and your heart.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a massive, massive, massive combos fan. I'm so glad you are too, because it's just such a fucking miss. Now I want to get combos. I feel like 7-Eleven has a mediocre variety, but if I
You
really
really
like,
only have like two choices. I'm
yeah,
seeing like the blue bag, and the blue bag I like the least. Um,
yeah, it's not ideal. I also I guess I could like do without the pizza. Not do without, but like it's not my go-to.
those are for like people like CJ.
Okay, I love that. Okay, let's play round 2. I already kind of fucked up round 2 because I
Oh,
spoiled it, but it doesn't matter.
okay.
Um,
Well, I may not
okay.
remember.
Yeah, you may not. Okay, round 2, 2 truths and a lie. Here are the 3 statements. 1, they used to have a diarrhea warning on the packages. 2, they used a test group in Wisconsin for the chips when they were new to market, and it was a disaster. 3, one of the reasons why Olestra was banned was because people were shitting their pants and had anal leakage.
I'm gonna like Wisconsin feels like the right place to test them, but if
Yeah.
it was a disaster, I guess they wouldn't have gone to market. But I don't know. So I'm gonna say that is the lie.
Okay. Yes, that
Okay.
is the lie. It was
Anal
actually,
leakage?
yeah, that's like a real thing. That is like a real, which is so funny,
Yeah.
specifically anal leakage. Okay, so part of where they had the disaster was actually in Indianapolis.
No.
Yes. It was like a big thing. I think they did it. It
This
was
is why
like,
I'm telling you. That's why. So my college is like an hour and a half up the road, and
yeah,
that's why I think that's the urban legend that may actually be true. Is because there's a corn syrup factory in Lafayette that
yeah.
makes everything smell like shit, and I think that may actually have been where they made the Olestra.
It says there's like a whole article that's like archived from 1997 that says Frito-Lay's Wow Chips hit Hoosers hard. like, and I'm sure like that journalist was like hit Hoosers hard and was like
Oh my god!
pretty.
And what is this? Where is this article? Is it in the Indianapolis Star?
It's from, let me see. It's a CPI press release.
This is so. I just
It's like
yeah. It's the The
so
Frito-Lay
funny.
factory is in Lafayette. That's like where,
Okay.
and so I do think because people come to Purdue and they're like, why does it smell like shit in the air? It's like
So
something,
funny.
I don't know. Didn't
They
even
had
notice it.
they had like a whole it was just like a whole ordeal that's like so funny. And
Hoosier's hard.
the CSPI is like it's some like I don't know, whatever. They had like an Olestra hotline that was
Yeah. Yes.
1-888 Olestra. And then they began running a TV spot that was like, hey, these are bad. Everyone was like, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But they have like the testimonials where they're like, a 30-year-old mother said their 14-year-old daughter, which by the way, are we doing the math on that? A 30-year-old mother and her
Oh yeah,
14-year-old
16.
daughter.
Yeah, 16. This is classic Hoosiers.
After eating about 30 Cooler Ranch Wow Doritos at lunch. I mean, the other thing that they were afraid of when they were, and of course, this would be like, also, this would be the issue is they were like, oh, we're really afraid that people are going to eat too many chips because
Yeah.
they think it's healthy. And it's
Right.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
duh.
exactly. 30 Cooler Ranch Wow Doritos at lunch. Her 12-year-old had diarrhea and gas after about 5 ounces of the nacho cheese Wow Doritos. And he had an accident in bed at 4 a.m. and missed 2 days of school. This poor kid. Like,
Well, because even hearing 30 chips, I'm like, that's not the small bag. Like they went to
no,
school with the big bag.
no, no. And then there's like another thing where it's like, I think it's, let me see. Oh, okay. Yes. A 63-year-old pet groomer from Indianapolis ate half of a family size bag of Lay's Original Wow chips and as a snack and suffered severe and horrible smelling gas.
I'm honestly so delighted that Indianapolis is such a part of Wow's past. Like it almost makes it seem like they maybe didn't even get out of the rest of the country. They were
I
like, let's
know.
test it on these fucking hillbillies. And then we all shit so bad. And like for hillbillies to complain about shitting, like people were really shitting.
I know. Well, and they left in like in these testimonials, they left in details like the last one she was like, these symptoms occurred while she was at work. And it was like,
Wow.
like these, and they
Wow.
also list their full names. Like literally, like Pat McEely, a 63-year-old pet groomer. It occurred while he was at work, which lucky him because he was around a bunch of dogs. But
Right.
like,
But it's like, I had a dog. Did he know Lady? Rest in peace.
I mean, maybe,
Wow.
maybe. I mean, but like these poor, also, it's like Dana Laughlin is the 30-year-old mom. And now what is her 14-year-old daughter who experienced abdominal cramps and diarrhea? Like, that's so, it's
It really
very,
was like because this is pre-internet, but it was one of
yeah,
those things where like I remember talking about it at recess. Like the streets
yeah.
were abuzz with Wow chip, like excitement and then catastrophe. It
Oh,
was
100%.
it was like teachers, children, parents, everybody was talking about it. Like I can like remember where I was standing at like the front of my elementary school having a conversation about Wow chips.
Yeah, and I mean, it was gone. To me, I felt like it was gone in an
It
instant
was.
because
Yeah.
I hadn't been able to, but that's why I'm like shocked that it lasted as long as it did. But
Yeah.
it's,
Wow.
I'm shocked that they still put it in shit in 2013, but that's fine. But they didn't pull the plug on the snack until 2004.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing them anywhere.
Well, they didn't have a warning label.
Did they change the name?
I think they changed it to Light. Maybe that was when they changed it to Light.
And did they lower the amount of Loestra in it? What's Olestra?
Olestra, yeah.
Olestra.
I only know that like also off the tip of my tongue because my mom tried to explain how bad Olestra was.
Mm.
And I was like, again, shut up. But yeah, I think they
Wow.
shifted. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like I see the bag and I don't remember like seeing it. I guess in elementary school, middle school, I wasn't doing the grocery shopping, so maybe
Yeah,
it
no,
was there.
they were rebranded as Lay's Light in 2004, but then they
Okay.
were discontinued fully in 2016.
I would like to point out that while we've been doing this, I've been drinking a Gatorade lower sugar.
Oh, I drank a full Gatorade Zero earlier,
Yeah.
so preach.
And I think the Gatorade Zero is good, but CJ says they're not, so he gets me the lower sugar.
He feeds you the lower sugar
But like a
instead.
Powerade Zero, I ride really fucking hard
Really?
for.
I think it tastes weird.
But that's what I think maybe what I've learned is that my stomach likes all these bad chemicals.
Oh yeah. I mean, mine normally does too. There's a thing out there called Smart Sweets. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, we've ordered them. I do
Yeah.
not like them.
Really?
CJ likes them. I don't like them.
I will say that like they have lollipops now
Mm-hmm.
and it's changed things. But here's the thing. This is also I bought some last night and then I also bought Jolly Ranchers and guess which I ate 400 of.
Yeah, the Jolly Ranchers.
Exactly.
It's like you do return to the well, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I just haven't had the right Smart Sweets too, you know.
Well, no, they're definitely weird.
Yeah.
Like, and the Swedish Fish tastes like full asshole.
And they're like hard.
Yeah.
And I like when I'm going chewy, I like a real soft.
Oh, okay. See, I like hard. I like for it to be like, I like the beef jerky that's like a dog treat. Like,
Well, I do love that. No, I do love that. Yeah.
It's like so dry and like rough. So that's like that's my favorite. And that's like from Love's, a gas station. That's a gas station treat.
Oh, I know Loves. Yeah, beef jerky is used to be my go-to pre-wedding snack. Like before I was going to weddings, I'd be like, I'll get some protein, and then I would just get blackout drunk.
No, I mean, it's an incredible snack. It's just but it's so expensive that I'm just like, there's no way you're raping me for the right price. Like it's too much. Okay, well, I want to play Fuck, Marry, Kill, Polly Partner with you now. I have 3 rounds of Fuck, Marry, Kill, Polly. The original, I mean, we're progressive here on Snack Time. So Fuck, Marry, Kill, obviously know how to play. Polly Partner is an addition. So there's 4 choices. So Polly Partner is one that you can have in addition to your married.
Oh, okay. Your side piece.
Yeah. So it's your side piece. You can have as little or as much as you want. However you see it complimented. Look, you guys can be a threesome. No, there's no fucking rules.
Okay. All right, great.
We've got 3 snack themed rounds, and the first one is movie theater snacks.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Okay. So Fuck, Marry, Kill, Polly Partner, movie theater snacks. Here we go. 1, we have buttered popcorn. So I'm talking about like the liquid butter.
Yeah.
2, a hot dog. 3, Sour Patch Kids. Or 4, Raisinets.
I'm going to marry a hot dog. I go to the CJ says I'm the person at the movie theater who is ordering stuff that they've never made before. Like I'll go in, I'm like, you had a board out there that said you have curly fries, and they're like, do we? Like they're looking at each other like, do we have curly fries? And so I'm the one getting. So I love a movie theater hot dog. Kill. Who out of that is? I probably have to kill Raisinets, even though I do like them.
Yeah.
But I prefer a peanut M&M. Like I love a peanut M&M with a buttered popcorn. Okay, so I'm marrying. I'm fucking buttered popcorn.
Oh.
And then my poly partner is going to be Sour Patch Kids.
Okay. Interesting.
I know. I go a little, my movie theater, and like CJ doesn't like butter on his popcorn at the movie theater. So maybe that's why I'm like, because my family, we love butter on the extra butter, extra salt. And CJ's like, I don't like the butter. So I think he's like kind of ruined
I like
movie
when
theater
it's
popcorn.
Soggy.
I do too.
I like when it's like, and Nick, I'll stand there for like, I'll let it go for like a good 30 seconds.
You've seen the trick where you put a straw down in it? Yeah.
You know what I usually do is I get the box and I dump half of it out in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the first layer of butter and then I dump the rest and put the butter on top like that. Because that tends to work well too. But yeah, the straw, I tried that last time. It got messy, but it did work.
I also love a microwave popcorn.
Yeah.
Like a skinny girl.
Yeah.
Some of her shit's good. And her popcorn is good.
Yeah. I mean, warm popcorn in general, delicious. I haven't had a lot of luck with I guess I've had some decent kettle corn pop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love kettle corn.
I need like a crunch on my kettle corn.
Yes.
And you can't really achieve that via microwave. But I would say like Boom Chicka Pop has like incredible flavors. They do a great job. It's a hearty corn pop. Like it's
Indiana popcorn is good too.
It is.
The red bag.
I've had that. Yes.
We're proud.
They've never been able to, although it's like with popcorn, Nick is a huge popcorn fan too. Like he eats so much popcorn. It's insane. And he would hate me for telling the world that, but also.
No, it's a great snack.
Yeah, it's a great snack, but like he'll get so much popcorn. I save it for the movies because it's not really as satisfying. Like we're going to go to the movies tomorrow night.
What are you seeing?
Candyman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I usually like have a large bowl of popcorn or like thing of popcorn with tons of butter. And like, if he doesn't get it, he cannot have any. Like I will not share it because that is my dinner. And sometimes I'll get a baby bottle of pop to go with it. Just to get a little balance. But no, that's like I save it because there's nothing as good as movie theater buttered popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why my choice would be to marry the buttered popcorn because it's just such a solid staple for me. And I could see myself with it for a long time. And then I would have to poly with the Raisinets just because it's not like I love Raisinets and I would not have Raisinets on their own, but the fact that I can have a threesome is appealing.
They're a good pair too. And like a Raisinette, you're never buying that anywhere but a movie theater. And so there's something very like sensory and soothing about that. And we've been out of movie theaters for a long time now too.
Exactly.
Well, we probably haven't. We've been going.
We're AMC A-list members.
Yeah, baby. I've definitely been to some rented out movie theaters during the pandemic.
No, I mean that was like one of the tragedies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would poly with the Raisinets. I would kill the hot dog because
you can get it so many places.
You can get it so many places, and I really like a backyard barbecue hot dog. Although I will say, what was that place in Chicago that was like downstairs?
Flub-a-dub Chub.
Yes.
So good. We talk about it a lot. Lisa and I talk about it a lot.
It was so good.
There's no kind of hot dog I don't like. My favorite bar in college gave out free hot dogs. And so like I love a steamed hot dog. I love a grilled hot dog, like a boiled all of them. I love hot dogs. So obviously that report that came out that every hot dog you eat shortens your life. It's like it's a strange thing to tell us during this time.
What was the study? Don't we need a cure for cancer?
And I don't want to, that's fine. Then take those 36 minutes.
Yeah. I have no, Who funded that study?
Maybe it was one of those things where they like were testing something else and figured that out.
Maybe. I'm just
But
like, it made me so mad.
If that's the case, do not tell us. My dad is obsessed with hot dogs. He said he saw something that a hot dog and a low-fat yogurt have the same amount of calories. He says that all the time. You know, the number one place that sells the most hot dogs in the world?
Costco.
O'Hare.
Whoa.
This is what you're going to get. You're going to get some hot dog facts with me.
Shit. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think hot dogs are bad. I've been known to get a hot dog and put it on a salad.
Wow, I don't.
It's not like the best thing,
That does
but
not
it works. It doesn't not work. Or you can make a hot dog omelet, which is honestly no.
I do not like a cut up hot dog. I need a hot dog in its phallic original form. Maybe I'm afraid.
Cut up hot dog. No, I mean, that makes sense. But I love a hot dog cut up. Like, it's like the hot dogs and mac and cheese.
No, I don't like it.
Okay. I mean,
it's weird.
Interesting.
For how much I'm writing for them, I don't like it cut up.
I know. It's intense. I like when they're dried out too. Like if you microwave them too long and they get a little chewy. Yeah, they get a little chewy and they split. I don't like a boiled hot dog though. That's not
I do.
You're like,
but I can't cut it up. It's like I don't know
exactly. I want it on a grill. If there's like a barbecue and there's cold hot dogs lying around, I'll absolutely grab one.
No.
Yeah, if it's like an old hot dog
but it has been cooked.
Yeah, but
okay.
But it's also you could eat them raw.
Yeah, I just like
like no real raw.
I like You're right.
But no, I mean most people. That's intended. The Lord intended we heat them up.
Yeah.
So that's and also just to clarify, if I cut them up, they're heated.
Right.
So just. Throwing that out there.
In an omelet.
Yeah, exactly. In an omelet. Okay, so the next round is themed cereal, which I consider a snack, even though I know it's supposed to be breakfast. It's not breakfast.
No, it's a snack. No, I only eat cereal at night.
Yeah,
now.
Same. Okay, so it's a snack. So here are your choices for Fuck, Marry, Kill, Poly Partner for cereal. We have Reese's Puffs, Raisin Bran, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms.
Okay. Raisin Bran, bye. It was my
really good.
No, I know, and I love Raisin Bran Crunch, and my grandpa used to eat Raisin Bran every day, and I loved him, but it doesn't. I love raisins too, but it's not for me. Okay. Okay. Oof. I'm going to fuck Reese's Puffs because like they can't be a part of my life all the time, but I do want to fuck them. And then probably marry Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms Poly Partner.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. You know, I guess there is something naughty about a candy cereal for Reese's Puffs.
They're so good though.
It's like forbidden fruit in the form of a cereal. I was always drawn to them. I really didn't like them that much though. They didn't hit the spot for me. Like I liked them. The chocolate didn't taste like chocolate.
I loved them. I was never a Cookie Crisp girl.
I wasn't either. You know, what I really was excited about was when they started putting pieces of chocolate in Special K.
Oh, yeah. All the Special K varietals.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what they're doing over there, but they've done some good work.
Absolutely. And we used to eat Honey Bunches of Oats a bunch when I was growing up, and those were solid.
Yeah.
But like Raisin Bran was like the cheat code until they figured out that it has more sugar than most of the other cereals.
Wow.
Because if you finish it at the bottom, they sugar the raisins. At the bottom,
they sugar the raisins.
Pure sugar.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And I think the Raisin Bran Crunch is really good.
Yeah.
I just think the bran itself in Raisin Bran, it gets soggy too fast, and I don't like a soggy cereal.
I like bran flavor a lot. I feel like it's kind of sweet, and like Nick is a big fan of all bran.
Uh-huh.
which is like those squares.
Oh no, I know. We had a pet rabbit growing up, and it reminds me of their food too
Yeah.
much.
No, it looks like rabbit food.
Yeah. And so I think and Chester, that was our rabbit's name. His food grossed me out.
Yeah.
I like loved him, but his existence was pretty disgusting in our house.
I mean, having would you are they technically rodents?
I don't know, but he was sweet. But well,
Was
actually,
he?
well, we ended up getting rid of him, sold him to, or like gave him to another family in the neighborhood who had rabbits. And the only update I ever got about him was that he killed one of his own.
Oh, okay.
But I guess rabbits do that. Like so he didn't murder. He just was like, "You're not going to make it. I got to kill you."
Yeah. Also, Nick just texted me from the other room, and he said it's called Cracklin Oat Bran, not All Bran.
No, All Bran is like what they give old people.
Okay. Well, I guess that makes a difference. Whatever, Nick. He's like, I hear you. Yeah, we had mice. I really wanted a rat, but we had mice and
Pet mice?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
That's crazy.
honestly disgusting and bad. And they kept getting pregnant.
Oh my God.
And so we would just have like little mice babies. And like it was
Oh my God.
It was a lot. It started out as a science project, I'm pretty sure, for my sister. And then it just really evolved into something out of control from there. But I did love my hamster. I had a hamster that I was just like called Furball, who I was obsessed with. But
we had a second grade like class hamster named Snowball, and he came home with me for one of the holiday breaks.
Yeah.
And my mom discovered that he had a cancerous tumor, and then I took him back to school and he died like immediately.
Oh, wait. I had a hamster with a cancerous tumor, but my parents got him surgery.
Well, this wasn't ours.
I know. Just
that's crazy.
The dedication to get the hamster's surgery. I was like, in retrospect, I'm like, you wouldn't let me have Lucky Charms, but
you found a hamster oncologist.
Yeah, exactly. And now my sister is a veterinarian, so who knows? Maybe
that's what everybody says they're going to be when they grow up, and she really did it.
I know she did. Well, it's also a nightmare job once you get it because you're just killing animals all day.
Oh no!
I know. But anyway, here are my choices. I would marry Lucky Charms. I love Lucky Charms.
Yeah,
I fucking love them, and I love freeze-dried marshmallows. I would poly with the Raisin Bran because I like Raisin Bran. And I would fuck the Cinnamon Toast Crunch because that was always such a treat. We would get that sometimes as a kid.
It's good.
But when it gets soggy, it's not good.
Yeah, but the milk that's left over is so delicious.
The milk is so good, but we weren't milk drinkers in my house. Right. So I was never like that excited about the milk. So it's a good treat every now and then. And so I would be interested in fucking it. And then I would kill the Reese's Puffs because they were always such a disappointment.
Wow.
I mean, when I eat them, I'm like, why don't I just get a Reese's?
Well, because you're a child, you know? And for some reason that wasn't at liberty to you.
I couldn't just walk to the grocery store. Now, like, I was just like, I don't know why am I eating cereal when I obviously want candy? And now they have a lot of fucking cool cereals.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've tried the Hostess ones. They have donut flavored cereal.
I'm not a big donut person. Donuts are like a blind spot for me, sweets wise.
Even like the fancy ones?
I actually like those the least.
Wow.
I know, it's weird. I love like a donut hole if those are out, but like filled with jelly, a Long John. No.
I love donuts. I love fried dough.
Everybody loves donuts. it's not like when people are like, I don't like chocolate. Like I obviously will eat a donut. But when we go to the donut place in our neighborhood, I get a ham and cheese croissant. And it's stuffed. Oh my God, this shit is incredible.
Wait, so you must not go to Donut Friend if you're getting ham and cheese.
No, because Donut Friend is anti-labor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go to Colorado Donuts, which is local owned, Filipino owned. And it's so much better. And they make the cutest, like Dodgers donuts, Lakers donuts. They have amazing, like they do the Homer Simpson one. They have such, like, that's the only place that I'll eat donuts.
I love that. I like donuts, but I can also easily not think about them for 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I love a good donut, but if I don't, it's not like I crave them.
No.
But I worked at Dunkin' Donuts in high school.
Wow.
So
you've been in the trenches.
I've been in the trenches. If a good sour cream donut is delicious.
I've never even heard of that.
It's just like a cake donut, but it's extra moist because it's made with sour cream and then it's glazed. And
I do like a cake donut.
It's very fucking good, but I like the fancy donuts with like all types of weird shit and funky fillings and like all of that. So that's my jam. Okay, and the last round is cheese flavored snacks.
Yes.
I know, it's a good one. So fuck, marry, kill, poly partner, cheese flavored snacks. We've got Cheez-Its, Goldfish, sour cream and cheddar potato chips, and nacho cheese Doritos.
Ooh, okay. I'm marrying Goldfish. That's
a surprise to me.
I love Goldfish. We used to get this, like, the most major snack in my house growing up was the Sam's Club giant tub of Goldfish. And since I was the youngest, I just had to like go places constantly. I was just sitting at practices a lot. And so I always had Goldfish with me. I feel like I do love Cheez-Its, but if I'm having Goldfish, I can probably kill Cheez-Its.
Okay.
But like if it was a white cheddar Cheez-It, I fucking love those. I prefer those probably.
What about the Parmesan ones?
Yes. Yeah. Like a flip too. I love them all.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fuck the Ruffles sour cream and cheese, which is good. And then I'm going to poly partner because I'm going to want it a lot. Doritos nacho cheese. Oof.
Okay. So I mean, I will say that the Goldfish threw me. I was like, oh, obviously this is going to be, she's going to kill the Goldfish. I'll kill the Goldfish. They don't have enough cheese flavor.
I love that.
I know. No, I mean, which is fine, but they don't have enough cheese flavor.
Well, you got to get the blasts. Have you ever had a blast?
Oh, yeah. But did they have them when we were kids?
No, they're a new phenomenon. And I think they have too much cheese flavor.
Oh, okay. Well, then now I absolutely have to try them. I love it like Cheetos covering.
Then you'll like a blast.
Okay. Well, then I obviously have to get a blast. Yeah, I would kill the Goldfish because they're plain. I just feel like I've got to marry the sour cream and cheddar potato chips because I could probably eat 3 bags of those in a row. And I would not care in the slightest that the roof of my mouth would be shredded. Like fully shredded. It's so easy that it's just such a great flavor. So I would have to marry that. I would probably, I mean, I just know that like Cheez-Its, I would probably poly with the nacho cheese Doritos.
Okay.
And because it is settling a little bit to me because I'm a Cool Ranch fan.
No, I love that too.
I'm Cool Ranch and I'm sweet chili.
Okay. Yeah. That's the purple bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet chili is very
I like the Taco Bell. Whatever that one is.
Are they super spicy? I'm kind of a pussy.
No, they're not super spicy.
Okay. Because I'm kind
It's
of
like the orange bag.
okay. Yeah.
I was
I
thinking, as we were doing this, I'm thinking about, this is like when people say, like, when some criminals go to jail and they learn like new ways to be a criminal. Like, that's what we're doing now. We're just,
I know.
I'm like, no, you got to get the Taco Bell. That's where it's really at. You got to get a blast. You got to get a goldfish blast.
Yes. I haven't tried the Taco Bell because I'm just like a pussy about if it's too spicy. And I like flaming hot Cheetos, but I'm like,
those are spicy.
Those are super spicy, but like there's something about how thick the Cheeto is that like is fine to me. But even then, also I like flaming hot Cheetos because like their spiciness slows me down.
Okay, yes, I get what you're saying.
And I need that. I need one of those dog food bowls that you see where it's like for dogs that like eat too fast. So I need one of those, and so that kind of does that for me. So I would poly with the nacho cheese Doritos, and then I think I would fuck the Cheez-Its because look, I don't love Cheez-Its, but sometimes I have them and they impress me.
Oh yeah.
So I think it would be something where I would walk away and I would be like, I'm good for a while, but that was absolutely enjoyable. It was a good experience overall because Nick, again, he doesn't really get anywhere. He used to get Cheetos, or not Cheetos. He used to get Cheez-Its a bunch.
Yeah.
And
there's Cheez-It people.
Cheez-It people, I was never one of them. If I can't see dust on it, I usually am like tapping out.
Yeah, that's why I like the like white one, the white cheddar. Yeah. I love those.
No, exactly. So yeah, God, the goldfish threw me for a loop. But look, also nostalgia has a big influence on my choices. So, okay, so that, okay, yeah, all right. I mean, I'm still like processing the decisions, but yeah, no, that makes the most sense. Yeah, I would have to marry sour cream and cheddar. Okay, wow. I mean, I would say most of our choices align really well, which I'm not surprised.
We didn't we're not gonna have to fight for any of our husbands, you know?
Exactly, which is ideal.
So that's
scenario. Good. Yeah, but if there was combos,
yeah,
I should have done different combos flavors, but
well, another time,
exactly. But that has been the podcast, and you've been a fucking great guest, Megan Gailey. Okay, so tell everybody where they can find you and plug all of your stuff because you've got an amazing podcast.
Thank
you. Got a bunch of shit going on, so tell the world.
I host a podcast called I Love a Lifetime Movie, which feels like a sister.
Love it.
You know, it feels like it could be aligned with this podcast because I always eat a snack when I'm watching a Lifetime movie. It's a little bit of a guilty pleasure, like meets a guilty pleasure. And so I host that with another really funny comedian named Naomi Ekperigin, who's one of my favorite people. And we just watch a different Lifetime movie every week and then interview people that were in the movie.
It makes me more starstruck.
Yeah.
Than it does to see if I were to see Brad Pitt versus someone from a Lifetime movie or reality show, I would get more excited.
Thank you. I agree. And then I think that's it. That's all I have.
Well, I'll put all your socials in the info so that people can click on them and follow you. And yeah, Megan, thank you so much.
Thank you. I have joined you in lingerie.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to go to an engagement party, and I cannot wait to see what the spread is. I've been thinking about it all day.
Please take a picture and send it to me.
I will.
Okay. You've been great. Guys, thank you so much for listening. And that's it.